Want to farm Bloodvine with any class in ZG? Grab a friend and zone in and we'll show you our 6 secret safe spots and how to use them. Hey there, thanks for watching. I'm Daintree Rogue, bringing you gaming hints, tips and hacks fresh from the jungle. With the PTR already down and ZG releasing in just a few days, we've clipped together a short video to show you how any 2 classes on epic mounts can duo farm Bloodvine. We're off to a good start by having 2 nodes right near the entrance. Both of these nodes can actually be soloed, but if your partner in crime is already bored, they should feel free to train the nearby mobs back to the entrance while you get your hands dirty. Today, we'll show you our 6 safe spots and 17 possible herb nodes, or even more if you like to take risks. The trick is to use these safe spots as a base of operations where you can escape the many pesky patrols. Each safe spot has a number of nearby herbs which can be easily farmed when you coordinate with a friend. Using the pillar to line of sight, and boom, we've scored our first Bloodvine. Watch that rightmost snake though, it might be easier to use your friend to draw them away. At this point, you'll notice that we aren't in combat. This can be a bit tricky though, so if there aren't any nodes at the start, take the same path but don't worry if you aggro. Here, we just bash right through the troll pat. We don't look back and we take a direct line for safe spot number 1, which is on this route by the covered bridge. I usually find it easiest to dismount before jumping up. Once up, move to the far side and nestle down. Melee mobs can't path to us here, but ranged ones will still shoot if they have line of sight and are in range. There are 2 possible herb spawns near the bridge route. We don't have them in this instance, but they're pretty easy to get. We'll demonstrate how to do this soon. First, let's check the next safe spot. From the route, you may have to wait for a pat, but if it's clear, follow the road and hug the wall on the left. You'll definitely aggro the next lot of mobs, but our exit is up ahead on the right. If there is a berserker in your way, turn left instead and head for safe spot number 3, which we'll show next. Welcome to Spider Ledge, named so because we are just below the entrance to the spider boss area. We use this safe spot a lot, and down there we can see our mobs resetting after failing to kill us. There is 1 herb directly available here, which we'll get to now. Jump down to the lower ledge overlooking the mobs that just reset. Those with 40-yard range could probably pull the mobs from the ledge, but you can't from 30, so we'll do it from the ground. The herbalist should run to the far side away from where you jumped down, while your buddy mounts and aggroes the mobs. Watch them drag the mobs back around the corner and up the hill. They'll need to be careful not to jump onto the ledge too soon though, as we need time to travel to and herb the node. I probably should have been mounted here for extra speed. As a general rule, it's usually safest to be mounted. My friend was really generous here and gave me plenty of time to herb, although it almost cost us a death. It probably didn't need to be that close, but with a little practice, you'll see that it gets easier. Mount up and group up again at the spider ledge as we prepare to go from here to the next safe spot. Given the amount of pats and the slow-moving berserkers, you'll quickly see why it's good to have plenty of options. Exit the ledge and turn down the hill. Head straight across the path, skimming the top of the wall, and don't worry if you aggro. Jump onto the end portion of the wall and you're at Venoxis Ledge. Again, watch out for ranged mobs and be sure to line of sight them on the wall if they are in range. There are 2 nodes accessible from this safe spot, but we need to use this in conjunction with safe spot number 4, so we'll show this now. We're heading over to those stairs. Zanza the Restless is at the top. Run straight up and jump off to the middle level, which is closer to the top than you think. It's best to get to the Zanza Temple from the Venoxis Ledge so that we don't run directly through those mobs at the base. From the Zanza Temple here, we have a node out the back, as well as another around the corner by some imps near the edge of madness. To get to the imp node, we'll both start at the Venoxis Ledge. Your friend will end up at the Zanza Temple after clearing out the node. Wait for the berserkers. I mean, could they go any slower? Come on. Once all the pats are clear, hold to the right and get past the hut on the left, which sometimes has a node. There's plenty of space up ahead on the road and also down on the left towards some crocs if you need to wait things out from safety. Watch your hero charge in, grab the imps, then turn and burn towards the Zanza Temple. Now we run in for the node. And that's node number 4 of this run. Feeling lucky and greedy, I ran off into the edge of madness. Don't do this. Get back to the road and then meet up with your friend again. Running wild in ZG, isn't it cool? If you think so too, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Stick around for 4 more nodes and the path to my favourite safe spot. By now, you should be getting the picture of how to use these safe spots to draw mobs away, have the herbalist herb, and then safely get out of combat. It's important to learn the safe spots and be flexible in using them. If a pat gets in the way, sometimes you're better off diverting to another safe spot. Herb node number 5 is a juicy one and bears the second Bloodvine of this run. Back at the spider ledge, we're preparing to head up the hill to the area near Mandokir. It's rich with herbs and usually a Hikari thorium vein. Can you guess what we have to do first? Yep, wait for a berserker. Once it's at the very bottom of its pat, you can jump from the upper spider ledge onto the path without aggroing. If you do catch it, you're probably best off trying to get back to the ledge. Otherwise, power all the way up the hill, stick to the right and go behind the fallen tree. Jump up onto it and go to the thick end where the roots actually line of sight the mobs. This is safe spot number 5, otherwise known as the Mando Root. There are usually 3 herbing nodes accessible from the Mando Root. We'll show 2 of them to keep things moving along. We spent quite a lot of time up here waiting for 2 berserkers and 3 troll pats. I'm not yet convinced it's worth the time, but with practice, who knows? I do think it would be best to reset the instance as often as allowed and always check for the easier nodes first. All 3 of these nodes up here require the berserker down the hill to be close to the bottom, as that's where your friend needs to go, all the way back to the spider ledge. They can aggro the berserker on the way, as they will gain a lot of distance when they jump downhill, but it's still a bit risky. In saying this, we had no deaths. The upside of dragging the mob so far away is that I had time to fail that collection and try again, and you can see the mobs running back now. For this one down the back, use the middle of the road as a guide towards Skull. Your friend shouldn't aggro the mobs on the left or right. They can head back out using the centre of the road but swinging wide towards the root. Make sure you stay back. As soon as the mobs are past, take the same line down the centre of the road. Find the herb, do some collecting and finger crossing, and then mount back up once done. There's a pat in my way, but the Mando Root isn't far away, so we get to go full Leroy through the trolls and over to the safety of the tree and the Mando Root on the end. And again, you can see that we were able to get the herb and get out with heaps of time to spare. Once you're done around the Mando Root, head back to the spider ledge. Now it's time to leave this side of the map, and it's easier to cross through the middle than to try and weave our way around. So now we're headed back to safe spot number 1, the bridge route. I recommend farming this side of the map first because it's a bit of a one-way ticket. We can get over to the other side without aggroing, but coming back is a different story. It's usually easiest to log to an alt and reset the instance at that point. I overshot my jump here and tried this other route on for size. Bad idea. Also note that the mobs can path either side of this wall. This could cause issues for line of sighting the ranged mobs, so it's probably best just to make the jump in the first place. If this happens to you, jump up between the wall and the main route and all will be fine, eventually. Now that we're out of combat again, we are free to head back over the bridge, assuming we beat that pat. When you are clear, get back on that mount and go across the bridge. There are mobs at the end on the left, so keep this in mind by sticking to the right. Turn right at the end and head down the ramp a little. We need to line up a jump across to the very corner of the altar of the blood god. You can only exit right at the corner though, and there are angry fish about, so don't dawdle. It's actually not that hard, and don't worry if you get in combat. The fish will drop aggro soon. Once you are out of combat again, mount up, cross another bridge, and slow down towards the end of it. There are quite a few pats around here. We'll wait for these panthers to do their business. Our next destination is the Temple of Bethekk, also known as the Panther boss area. This area is great for farming herbs as well as hoodoo piles. If you don't yet have your blood scythe, be sure to check out our other video on how to loot these piles all by yourself. A blood scythe enables Bloodvine to drop from herbs in ZG, so don't forget to grab one before attempting your own Bloodvine farm. And yet again, we're waiting for another Zerker. You can sneak past it by hugging the wall, but we weren't so lucky this time around. It really is best just to wait behind the tree here. Turn left into the temple, head up the stairs, and jump off onto the middle level. Welcome to our 6th safe spot, the Bethekk Temple. There are 6 available nodes to this safe spot. Usually at least 2 will spawn, and sometimes 4. 2 spawn outside the walls, but once we show you the pools inside the walls, you'll know how to do the rest. There is a 7th node out the back of the temple, but you can't do this without Sprint, Blink, or Aspect of the Cheetah, so we won't show that today. There are 2 front nodes and 2 side nodes. This one here is a front node. These ones are easy because at least one of the mobs is within 30 yards range from the top of the temple. The side nodes are harder because your friend needs to pull them from the middle level and jump to the ground or stairs and run back around the top. We're missing this day's footage for my herbing buddy, but we filled it in with some from another run. It's simple. Your friend pulls the mobs. Once they aggro, jump down and herb the node. Make sure your friend doesn't jump down to the middle level too soon. You could run back to the temple stairs like I do, but you do risk running into the mobs if they're on their way back. And that could be bad news. I think the safest option is to mount and run out to the road. 6 safe spots, 17 nodes. Let us know your favourite safe spot in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is Daintree Rogue, gone rogue. See you next week.